Hey guys, today I'm back with another video, and today I am going to be curling my hair. This is like my hair straightened, but it's been a few days, so we're gonna curl it and see how that turns out. So I'm gonna take this of it, and then I'm gonna pull the rest up, and then we're gonna turn on my curling iron. This is the curling iron that I'm using. It's Hot Shot Tools. That's the brand. And I got it a couple of years ago. I don't know if they still sell it or make it, but that's the one that we're going to be using. We're going to just pull my hair up like that. And then I'm going to split it down the middle, like this way. And I like to do this side first. So I'm just going to grab pretty thin one. And I'm going to do that, and about halfway we're going to curl it. And I like to curl it going that direction, so away from my face. And occasionally I'll like feel it to make sure it's actually getting heat. And then I'm gonna curl the bottom. So that is the first curl. I'm gonna do another piece. And then, so when you're curling, you're gonna wanna make sure that that the piece is actually heating up, because if it's not heating up, then there's gonna be no curl. And there are ways to curl your hair without heat, obviously, but with a curling iron, you cannot curl your hair without using the heat. So we're gonna just do that. And then I kind of like to pull it like that way, like once I start getting closer to the face, because it creates like the flat iron like look, if that makes sense, like that. And I usually do about 3 sections on each side for the bottom layer. And then on the top layers, I usually do like 4 or 5. There's this one, just like that. I'm gonna redo this one, because this one is not the best curl. And obviously these bottom curls don't matter as much, because you won't really see them that much, but if you're like, let's say you're putting your hair in a ponytail, then you're obviously gonna see it. So there's that. That side. And then when I'm curling my hair and like using heat on it, I don't like to use hairspray or anything, just because I feel like it damages your hair, because it has an ingredient in it. It's like denatured alcohol, and I find that's really drying out my hair. I'm not really sure which, I don't know if there are brands out there that make hairspray without denatured alcohol in it, but denatured alcohol is a very common ingredient in hairsprays, and I think it's necessary if your hair doesn't really hold curls as well, or texturizing spray. I haven't checked out the ingredients on that, but if you find one that doesn't have denatured alcohol in it, then that would work as well. And if your hair is soft, then you could spray some hairspray over each section before you curl it, and then let that dry for a little bit, and then you can put some hairspray on after as well if you want to. And when you use the hairspray before, when you put it on the curling iron, it will make like a sizzling sound just because it's like hairspray and it's meeting with like heat. So it's gonna make like a sizzling sound. It shouldn't damage your hair that much. The only way that would damage your hair is if it's not dried all the way. Here's the bottom section. That's how it looks from the back. And then I like to go like kind of like right here. My hairline, you can see it's like that and like that. So I like to go from here and then just like kind of like go like about halfway up. And same side on the sides like that. So I like to go from right there and kind of meet where I left off from the other side. And then we're going to pull the rest up into so that it doesn't get caught. And then, so when I curl my hair, it usually stays in for like, if I do it well, it'll stay in for like a couple days. But if not, then probably like just a couple hours. When I was younger, my hair used to curl. It would only stay in for like maybe an hour or two. But now my hair, I feel like it's gotten more texturized just a little bit, so it'll stay in longer. And I do not use any like after sprays, like such as like hairspray or anything, just because I feel it's not necessary. Because my hair holds curls pretty well, and I don't think that I would need any hairspray if it holds the curls well. Because hairspray is like it's it's like a thing. It's like a product that like uses like something sticky, like denatured alcohol, to like help a hairstyle hold and stay better. But if your hair already like holds a hairstyle well and doesn't need that extra support, then I don't think that you should be using it on your hair if it's not like necessary to use. So right here, like on the ear, these pieces are a bit larger than the others, so I like to do like kind of like diagonal pieces, if that makes sense. Or sometimes I'll split it in half like that way and then do the top section first, just so there isn't like a huge curl. And then once we get past this section by the ears, we're going to move on going towards the face. And my hair, it's a little bit layered, just a little bit, because I do cut my own hair and I like to layer it because when I'm curling it, it's easier to section out the sections and like it kind of makes the curls better in a way. But if you're like really into braids and you have like longer hair, I do not recommend that you get layered hair. Just because there'll be pieces sticking out everywhere and it just overall won't be a pretty braid. And if you have very short hair, I find that it could be easier to manage if you get layers. But as your hair grows out, you might want it thinned out instead of layered to make it easier to manage. And thinning out your hair, it kind of is like layers, but not exactly because it takes it has like a pattern on the scissors that you're gonna be using to thin out your hair, and it takes like every like other section it'll like cut at like a certain like length, and then your hair will have like a cut in it, but it won't be like a dramatic cut because it won't be like using the whole section that you sectioned off for the layering, if that makes sense. So with this front piece, like a triangle, I don't know how well you can see it, but it's like a triangle. So I like to kind of take like the top section like that, and then curl it first. And then as I'm doing this, I don't really like to have the curling iron on as long just because these sections for me they're thinner, so they don't need as much heat. And then I have burnt myself before, like curling this section, and it does hurt. So you want to make sure that you're staying pretty far away. This is like how far away I'm staying, so about an inch away from the face when you're curling your hair. So here's this side. Now we're going to do this side. So again, you can see the layers like from this because it's like kind of like cut off a little bit like at one end, and then it's like longer at the other, so you can tell that there's layers in it. Like as you can tell right here, like this side is shorter than that side, so there's going to be layers in it. And I find that it makes, like, when you curl your hair, it turns out better and it looks better. And then use the same technique with like pulling your hair down, so it creates this type of curl, so it's like flatter at the ends. And then if you don't like to do that, you can just curl it like a regular curl. It won't really do a difference. Like with like pulling the curling iron downwards, it can make the curls like smaller. So if you like bigger curls, then you can just like curl it like regular, and it won't really do anything like with this one. So when I bring it down, it's like not really flat and got bigger curls compared to the last. And you can do like a variety of curls. I actually recommend you do a variety when you're curling your hair because it looks more natural and there won't really be like that like perfect curling like technique, if that makes sense. Or if your perfect curl is like kind of more natural, then it will be like that. Because with like curly hair, you don't really like have the same curls throughout your hair, and that's perfectly fine. And if you want to fix that and like have them all like more uniform, then you can get a perm, and that will fix it. And if you do get a perm, the smell, like the solution of like the smell of the solution, it does smell a bit. So if you are thinking about getting a perm, the perm solution does smell. So I'm just gonna warn you guys about that. And then if you don't really like to be like curly hair, if that makes sense, or you don't like your hair curly, then you can, I do forget what it's called, but it's like where they flat iron it before and then they put like a solution on and then they flat iron it again. And then I'll stay flat ironed for a while. My aunt actually used to do that. It does damage your hair a bit though, and I've noticed that with my aunt's hair. So beware of that. Pretty much like anything that you do like in the hair industry will damage your hair except for hair trimming and cutting. But that'll be taking hair off, obviously. Like curling your hair, it's like heat damage. And same with like flat ironing your hair, also known as straightening your hair. And the perm solution, if you are doing a perm and you wrap the perm too tight, then that can actually cause the hair to break because the hair like swells up when it's in the solution, and you really like you need to make sure it's not super tight. This is the second layer of curls. We're gonna start on the third layer now. I'm gonna take this out, and then I like to brush through this top layer just because it's been like it went up in a bun twice, and I didn't really brush through it like the second time. And then with this one, I like to have a middle part, so I just go straight back. I find that's easier. And then like I'll fix it if it needs it, but if not, I'll just leave it like that and then curl it. And I think that the top layer of curls, if you're just leaving your hair down, I think that these are the best. Like these curls should be the best that you do because they're gonna be on top, so everyone's gonna be seeing them, you know. And if they're not on top, then you don't really have to do that well with curling, but still make sure that it has like somewhat of a wave. So it's not like just like one super long piece in your hair that's just like not curled. Again, you don't want super thick pieces when you're curling your hair, just because the heat won't distribute evenly and your curls won't like turn out as good, because with more hair you're gonna need more heat, so you have to leave it on longer, but then that can cause like your hair to fall off and burn off because there would be too much heat on your hair at once. Like for this curl I'm doing right now, it's like almost at the point where it's too much hair because I have thicker hair, and so I take like super thin pieces. Like they'll look super thin, but they'll be like the same as like a regular piece would be. Like on someone who has like finer hair. Like this is like how thick it is. You don't want it to be like any thicker than that. And so after I'm done with this side, I'm gonna go on to the next side and curl that, and then I'm gonna like flip my hair over, and then I'm gonna run my fingers through it a little bit, and then that will be the finished look. And if you guys want more hairstyling videos, please leave a comment down below. So like for this piece, like that's like too much of the straightening for me, so I like to just like go back over it. This, just like curl it out like that. So it's like you can fix it easily like that. I don't know if many people know that, but that's how you can like fix a curl. If you like accidentally like curl the top, but the bottom didn't really curl that well, you can just like go right over it instead of having to curl the whole piece over again. And then when I'm pulling down, I like to twist it as well, because that can like create like a super tight curl if you do it like that way. Like at the ends, it'll still be like curly, and it won't just be straight, compared to as if I were to just like pull it straight, like this. Like, not just straight. But here's this side, and then we're gonna do this side next. And with the back sections, I like to kind of like hold it upwards like that way. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's like that, so it creates like a little poof in the back, like where most people like tease their hair. And teasing your hair, it's like when you tease your hair, it's meant for like a base, like if you're pinning stuff down, like and like wedding updos and hairstyles. Like if you're gonna be pinning stuff down, you want to create that base so you have something to pin the bobby pins onto. And then if you don't have it, like if you don't have that base, then your bobby pins aren't going to stay as long or as well. And there are different types of bobby pins. There's like the ones where they like aren't closed all the way, like they're like kind of just like that. It's like a C, like if that makes sense. Like it has like it's like a C, but like the two ends are longer. And those are actually used like in hairstyles where you'll see like it looks like there's like different dimensions like on of the poof. So you'll just like put some hair, you'll pin a hair up like how you would want it to be like in the final results of the hairstyle. And then you would just hairspray it. And with that, you do need hairspray because the curls aren't really gonna stay, or not the curls, the little like sections. Like if you like go like that way, they aren't really gonna stay that well. Or there's like this like powder hairspray thing. I'm not really sure what it's called, but it's like a powder hairspray. It's like this powder stuff. My aunt has used it before, and you'll probably hear me talking about like a lot of my family in this video, or well, in like other videos too as well, because a lot of my family is in the beauty industry. Like I have like a cousin who is an esthetician. I have a few aunts who are hairdressers, and I have another cousin who is a hairdresser. So there are a lot of hairdressers and beauty people in my family. So here's the last layer. I'm just gonna put my hair over and run my fingers through it like this. You don't really want to do it a lot, just because that can make the curls fall out. After I do that, I'm gonna flip it over, and it will look a bit frizzy, but that's okay. So like this, I'll just like mess around with it like that to kind of create a little natural poof. And this is a hairstyle. It's like how it would look. It is a bit messy, but that's okay. And there's the side view. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if not, like if you wanted to do like an updo with it, you could just like take like these sections and kind of just like pin it like that, like a little ponytail updo. But okay, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below if you have any video recommendations or if you want to see other hair videos. And I am looking forward to making a new video. And in this one, it's not really like beauty, but it's like me like choosing a new like diet or lifestyle, if that makes sense. But that will be the next video. And you guys can check out the video right here. There's gonna be a video. It's the last video that I made. It's like a get ready with me video. So there's that. You can click on that, or you can subscribe over here. You can click that. You can turn on the red bell notifications as well if you want to receive notifications whenever I post a new video or update. Thanks for watching, guys.